Right. Very warm welcome to you, Likhit. Let me, on the very onset, tell you what our perspective is behind starting this FAMSUN first. These kind of podcasts, why we are doing is, we're trying to give a platform, Likhit, to the people or to the audience who actually want to enter into the industry or is a part of industry, so that they can take anecdotes from the experts, maybe generational knowledge which one carries and could improve themselves, maybe their processes, their businesses, like so. So on the very onset, I again warm welcome, a very warm welcome to you, Likhit, and please I request you to introduce yourself.
Thank you so much. My name is Likhit Mylapur. I belong to a family business of over 50 years old, started by my grandfather.
Okay.
So we are into the business of food processing. Mainly we are processing grains such as wheat and paddy, wheat to its byproducts and paddy to rice once again. So I personally have an experience of about 8 to 9 years in the industry. I started off my career with the wheat milling industry, and now I am looking after the rice milling division of our business.
Okay.
Yes.
Great, fantastic. And I think the journey of MS Agro is a very, very long journey. Though you've been part of past 8-9 years, but I think the journey continued. Even you had journey. I mean, your family had a journey before that also. Please run us through that journey. In last 10 decades, 1 decade, and last 15 years, how was the journey till now?
MS Agro Industries was established somewhere around 2002 by my father's generation.
Okay.
Prior to that, we were in the wheat milling industry. The wheat predominantly does not grow in the southern part of the country because the climatic conditions are not suitable. It requires really extreme cold conditions for the grain to grow. So even if you have the milling unit here, you had to bring the raw material from up north, from states such as Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, UP, MP, Rajasthan, and places like that.
Right.
Because India is again an agrarian economy, so because there was a lot of growing area and well irrigated area around Raichur,
Yeah.
paddy growing area and cotton growing area, because of which my family took the decision to enter the rice milling industry.
Okay.
In that phase from the flour milling industry. We are also two-time national award receivers for our flour mill, Raichur Roller Flour Mills, from the Prime Minister of this country twice in the year 1993 and 1994 for National Productivity Award. So in 2002, when we ventured into the rice milling, the vision was quite big. The family decided to, until then, mostly the industry was binny, half ton per hour, 1 ton per hour, or something like that. So vision was very brave, and for the in the basmati sectors, there were German machineries and really efficient machineries that were there. But in the non-basmati, not really. So we are South India's first fully Buehler machinery equipped milling unit that came up back in 2002.
Okay.
When the industry norm was half TPH to 1 TPH, the Buehler machinery that we imported from Germany, the whole plant was about 5 TPH. So that was very big back then.
Great.
So that is how it started about 2.5 decades ago.
Fantastic. And I believe till now, in last 20 years, I believe you have grown a lot. How that growth journey has been till now, from 2002 to till 2026?
Definitely, it has been a good journey because it is lucrative for the next generation to come in and take over the business. That itself is an indication that it's a good journey.
Right.
After the MS Agro Industries, we also diversified back into wheat flour milling. We have one another unit which we established in 2007 back in Bangalore.
Okay.
And since then, we are expanding the same set of units, and the journey so far is good.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, Likhit, predominantly this area, Raichur area, and the area near Raichur, how do you think, I mean, what kind of rice, what kind of paddy, how the production is all about? Do you think this is the right area to establish business? As a geographical voice, what do you say about it?
See, as per the statistics, this region has about close to 6 lakh acres or so worth of agricultural land, paddy growing land,
Okay.
and also surrounding states are also growing paddy. So there is abundant availability of raw material for any industry to thrive. The availability of raw material is important, and there are two crops of paddy which is coming, rabi and kharif, both are available annually, two crops annually. So the region is also irrigated well by with the Tungabhadra and Krishna rivers.
Right.
So water is again the biggest raw material for the farmer to be able to grow 2 or 3 crops a year. So it's a well irrigated land, and raw material is also abundantly available. So it's a prospectively
And the
good
rice
area.
industry, because of all these geographical reasons, rice industry in and around this region is thriving because of all
Yeah,
these
yeah,
factors.
definitely because of the availability of raw material, very specifically in terms of the quality mindset of the Raichur rice millers.
Okay.
Raichur rice is known very widely across many states for its quality. So that is how it has been. Sona Masuri has been the staple crop here.
Okay.
And further to that, there are different seed varieties that have come now, but predominantly Sona Masuri, really high quality, is Raichur's signature
You
crop.
talked about rice milling industry in and around this region, Likhit, and you're part of it, right? So, how and in your span of last 8-9 years, what kind of shift you have seen? How people in the rice industry, millers specifically, they're changing. Okay, can you give us 2-3 points?
See,
the,
my
the positive
journey.
changes which they might have inculcated.
See, my journey into the rice milling is only 6 years old. So I'm here since COVID,
Yeah.
and I came into this industry by chance. None of us anticipated that in my family that we would come to the milling industry, rice milling industry, because we were looking after the flour. We were involved in the flour milling industry. What I'm seeing is a lot of shortage in manpower, and because of which a lot of automation activity happening.
Okay.
So any decisions that we are taking today is with respect to the manpower, shortage in manpower, and how we can work around the manpower, eliminate the manpower need for manpower, and solve the crisis of manpower. This has been the core decision for many people. And positively now, like I mentioned earlier, that we transitioned from a binny half TPH to a 5 TPH.
5 TPH, yes.
Now today's time, I believe that 5 TPH is the new binny. Because the scale of industry is very huge, and people are looking nothing less than 10 to 12 TPH plants for their new establishment. So the industry is growing, the scale is also growing, everything is automated now.
So one challenge and one plus. The challenge is of course then manpower. I like to dig you a little deeper into it little later. And the positive is because of the production increasing and everything, I think people now are more, and I'm sure there is a government aid also there. Government policies also in favor of the rice millers. That's why they are trying to expand more. Is that also the case?
There are a few subsidy schemes that are helpful to an extent, but that's about it. Government is always helpful, but beyond that, not much. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
But still the margins I'm sure are good. So that
See, it's a commodity. Rice is a commodity. At the end of the day, you have to sell on a kg basis.
correct.
I am not a value added, for example, a silo manufacturer such as yourself will procure the raw material on a kg basis. Steel is a raw material, and you would sell the product as a value as a product. It's not that you're selling your silo on a kg basis, right?
Right.
So we do not have that luxury just because it's an essential commodity. So that's going to be that. And when there is no moat or no value addition around a product that you're into, you tend to be in a very, very competitive industry naturally.
I totally agree.
Yes.
Being a commodity, I believe moat is very challenging.
There are no moats around the business. It's very difficult
How
to
do you
have
market
moats around.
yourself if it is such a challenging industry? How are you making your way through?
See, quality rice is again a staple commodity, right? So there are places in the country where rice is eaten thrice a day in one form or the other. On the breakfast items, you have idli, dosa, and all rice based. Lunch is again rice, dinner is also again rice. So when it is a staple commodity, the consumption is there. So when the consumption is there, the sales is also there. Everybody, there is a big pie and everybody has their own share of market.
Correct.
And that's how it's going on. And the world demand is also there for non-basmati rice. So that is
Likhit,
how
let
it
me
is.
address one interesting question here. I mean, I'm sure you might be asked or maybe already been introduced to this one. This region, though there is a lot of water supply, and rice being one of the highest consumption, has the highest consumption of water, and that scarcity probably will start coming maybe in a decade or so. I'm sure you are aware of it. Do you find this thing challenging? Do you find think there is a way out? Probably we can, or maybe farmers or people could shift to some of the crops. Just your thought about it.
I'm not really sure about that because though the crop is quite water intensive, because it is staple, I think people will find ways to adapt and ensure that the crop is growing well.
Okay.
Because the demand for it is such globally.
Okay.
So rice being 70% of your product on your plate,
Right.
the rest of the things are only 30 or 20%.
True.
So it will find its way. And as of today, the water scarcity is not so scary. The manpower crisis is a little more scarier than that.
Great. I'll pick up manpower crisis little later. I want to ask you this technical question, Likhit, first. So, how does this moisture impacts? How much impact does this moisture variation have on the milling efficiency and especially during the recovery of rice? How does impact the moisture impacts that part?
See, in my humble opinion, moisture will not have any impact in the milling efficiency.
Okay.
Because there are two stages of milling, it's harvest and process.
True.
Process is controlled, so we are bringing the entire paddy to one certain moisture suitable for milling, and then we are passing into the mill, so it does not have much effect. Where it is having is prior to the milling. For example, if the moisture is too high or irregular, and if I am storing it traditionally in warehouses in gunny bags, rice is traditionally stored up to 18 months. 18 months is the maximum. CFTRI says that 18 months is highest to which it matures. I mean, the cooking capabilities, maximum cooking capabilities reach up to 18 months.
Okay.
So you store it for 18 months, for example. What happens is the discoloration of rice will start happening because of the wrong storage of moisture without regulating the moisture. So because of which again the losses are higher, your rejection in the color sorters is higher. So that is one of the, I don't know how much it will affect the cooking abilities of the grain because of the improper storage, but definitely discoloration is a very big problem there.
So I think there the relation starts of companies like us with you, especially when we think about how we scientifically store the rice. I want to understand from you that solution of storage.
Even in the new crop, if we are going for steaming or parboiling, it's a big problem because instant discoloration of the unevenly stored or uneven moistures, instant discoloration is also a big problem there. So discoloration is a loss for the industry, straight away a loss. And
so it is a myth, Likhit, because I belong to North India. And many times when we, or maybe my father, I used to see my father when I was small, they used to buy discolored rice, decoloration of rice, little yellowish rice. They used to treat it little, I mean, they are more healthier or more suitable for consumption. Is that so? Is it a myth? How it is?
See, discoloration is a result of improper storage or improper treatment of the grain. Nutritional capabilities, I'm not very sure how authentic that is. If there is any nutritional value being added,
Can we relate it with the aging of the rice like that?
not really.
Not really.
Discoloration is see, high moisture and high temperature. When the grain is exposed to high moistures and high temperatures, the grain naturally loses its color. That's scientifically how that happens. So with respect to the nutritional value, I am not very sure.
So there's
If there is someone, an expert should be able to answer
Right,
that.
right. So you talked about storage. Now this is the challenge, I believe, which the solution is proper storing, I believe. I simply would like to understand as a layman, because you understand it much better. In simple words, traditional storage versus the new scientific methods of storage. How much important, significant the other one is?
See, both in my opinion have their pros and cons.
Okay.
If I want to age the paddy for a longer period of time, let's say I'm not doing any parboiling activity or a steaming activity, and just a raw rice aging which has to happen naturally and through time.
Okay.
If that is the case, the opinion, general opinion in the market, and my opinion also is that it is better to go for a traditional storage method. Many times, many big companies and laboratories, they have concluded that when stored in the traditional formats, the starch modifications that need to happen naturally, they happen well and to its full maturity. But wherein when stored in a silo, that level of aging does not happen in the same stipulated given time is the concept that is there for long-term storage, not for short-term storage. But in terms of the safety of the grain, the ease of storage, considering the manpower crisis that we are going through, the uniformity of drying and storage, because it is on inline and passing through conveying systems and passing through the dryers, the safety of the grain is much better, higher, infestation is lower, discoloration chances are lower in the vertical grain storage system such as silos.
So storage, one is of course, I mean, when we are scientifically storing it, the safety of the grain, the safety increases. That is your point, right?
Yeah.
Though it has other positive effects also. Let us try to understand a little more deeper into the safety of the grain. How does it increases? Because if you're using a high capacity storage, the pressure difference, the aeration, all those factors will come into play. How does it is affecting or benefiting the safety of the grain?
Again, see, vertical storage comes with terms and conditions, right? You should be able to, you should know the aeration methodologies well, and you should be able to store at the right moisture. Then again, weather conditions are very important. You have the silo management systems wherein they are at different levels. These are indicating the temperatures in the silo where you can start triggering the aeration system or not. What happens, when to use the blower systems, when to use the axial fans. So there is a understanding that is very important there. It all comes with even with respect to your traditional storage methods. You can't say that I'm just going to stack all this paddy in gunny bags and leave it there and come back after 18 months and look at it. It's not going to be that. Periodically you have to ensure that you are spraying chemicals or fumigating the entire warehouse to ensure that there is no weevil activity that is happening. So here creating that atmosphere or inside the silo to ensure that the weevil activity does not happen is one of the core practices in a silo. So everything takes effort.
In spite of all this modern storage which people are adopting now, rice millers are adopting, just name two mistakes which they are still doing. Now you're already in the industry, you understand it better. I think two big mistakes. In spite of all the silos they're doing, what are the two things they generally ignore? Maybe could be buying of steel, could be other things. Top two things comes to your mind.
I'm not very sure
Okay.
if there is something like that.
Let us reverse the question. What are the two biggest benefit which you see while we go for modern storage or scientific storage like silos and all? What are the two biggest benefit you see on the traditional storage methods?
See, straight away, what attracts a business person to this kind of storages is one is if real estate is a problem, if you have a lesser amount of space with you, even though the investment is much higher compared to a traditional warehousing system, you go vertical, so you go to the maximum limits, and in 30% of the space that you require, you are able to store 100% of the material. One thing is that real estate. Second thing, in today's time that we are seeing over here is a manpower crisis. So once the material gets into the system, nowhere you require manpower to handle the material once again, because for now in the traditional methodology you need to bring the material, dry it, again bag it, load it back into the vehicle, take the vehicle to the destination, stack it there, and again follow the same procedure back when you are bringing it. Requires a lot of manpower and effort. So here in this case that is not required at all. So once the material enters the system, the drying, conveyance, storage, and then withdrawal also happens, everything through the conveying system itself.
ROI becomes better?
Much better. Definitely much
Any
better.
calculations you made recently, you thought, this percent of our ROI has improved in last 5-6 years?
Not specifically, it is all dependent upon the labor pricing. But definitely ROI is there. But at the same time, the investment is also very huge. When we compare, the foundation cost itself is very huge for a silo. But when we compare in terms of ROI, so because there is an ROI, makes more sense for the investment, and it's more of a convenience than the ROI, because when you don't have a labor in place to do work for you, or there is a insufficiency or partially available labor, what happens is your industry is not running fully. So underutilized capacity is again a loss. So that's what it is.
I believe labor is a challenge across industries wherever such kind of milling is happening, even in floor milling also, right?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so coming to you, Abhinay, you've been part of FAMSUN now already for a couple of years, more than a couple of years, I believe, right?
Yeah.
You had a great journey. I request you to please firstly introduce yourself for people to know who you are.
Yeah.
And then we can start with the first question.
Yes, Naveen, thank you very much. Thank you, sir. I am Abhinay. So I am been associated with this industry for past 15-16 years now.
Yeah.
So I worked with Japanese rice milling missionaries.
Yeah.
Sir was saying Bueller, we are like competitors of Bueller
Yeah.
at one point of time. And also like on the post-harvest, like dryers, parboiling sections. I have been part of it. And now currently for the past 3 years, I am associated with FAMSUN. So basically throughout my journey, it is all like business development. So majorly I take care of the southern market of India and to some extent Sri Lankan market. So this is just a brief introduction.
Great. So you're looking after the southern market.
Yeah.
It's been some time already. Even in your previous experiences, you were more associated with southern market, I believe.
Yes.
Likhit is talking about the adaptation of modern storages and all.
Yeah.
I want to understand from you, in this scientific storage methods, how does automation helps? How does this automation improves maybe the quality of storage or the quality of grain? Please give us at least 2 to 3 points.
See, Naveen, automation is very critical.
Okay.
At FAMSUN, we believe automation is a brain of the complete grain storage ecosystem.
Okay.
Reason is in today's world, silos is not just storing grain inside a steel container.
Okay.
As Mr. Likhit rightly pointed out, the purpose of having these silos is to preserve the quality of a grain for a very long duration of time under different environmental conditions. Since he is from rice mill, paddy is a very sensitive crop.
True.
It responds to the ambient temperatures, ambient humidity, and lot of moisture migration will happen inside the grain mass, and temperature will also fluctuates.
True.
So if such is the case, you have to monitor what is happening inside the grain
Right.
for 24 hours. Otherwise, you are just operating blindly.
Right.
So if you depend on a labor to do this task, it may be little tougher.
Challenge.
It is very challenging. Now there are a lot of automation systems which has come. Like you can automate the aeration system completely. You can also monitor your moisture. You can also monitor how your grain behaves. Like you can also see all the hot spots inside the silo. See, if paddy is a crop, like if there is a sudden increase in temperature, naturally the air will move.
Yes.
You will have condensation happening at the top, or moisture gets accumulated. So all these systems you can automate so that the aeration system becomes efficient. It is very critical, especially in silos. So depending on labor to do all such activities, two things will happen. One, your labor should be very good in monitoring all these systems.
Right.
Second thing, if he is not able to do it, definitely the grain quality will deteriorate.
Okay.
Because all these systems are made for a longer storage duration.
Okay.
So it is not like 2-3 months of storage. So as he rightly pointed out, it takes almost 18 months storage duration. We have some silos we have kept even for 4 years. So the whole grain management is very essential. And nowadays, labor is also shortage, as Mr. Likhit rightly pointed out. So it is very critical to automate the complete plant. Automation, not only the silos, you can also minimize a lot of handling losses. You have these elevators and conveyors. You will integrate all these as a facility. So once you have this automation with the complete silo facility, you can definitely minimize the losses that happens because of handling. At the same time, nowadays, even if your plant shuts down for 1 or 2 hours, it is, at the end of the day, it is a loss for the customer. Yeah, the profitability, it is a loss. So now automation, you can keep it in this way. It can help the operators to suspect any kind of defect before actually it happens. Yeah, it's kind of preventive maintenance, and operators can be proactive with automation systems. And FAMSUN is, and in FAMSUN we are number 1 currently for this automation in grain system. As now world is moving towards this industry 4.0 concepts, right?
Yeah.
Like monitoring,
Industry 4.0
yeah, like remote monitoring, cloud integration,
IoT and all.
yeah, IoT and all those. Even we have supplied to some customers. They can also monitor the level of paddy inside the silos.
Are we doing more such kind of integration if they happen? I'm talking about a lot of recent technologies also coming up.
Yeah,
Do you think the cost will go up? And if the cost will go up,
yeah.
is it wise enough to kind of integrate all these new solutions?
Yeah, definitely. Because I believe, if you set up a plant, it is just not only for the storage purpose.
Okay.
You have to take care of the profits at the end of the day. At the same time, you should also not be too much dependent on the labor, because as Mr. Likhit rightly pointed out, the cost of paddy today is very expensive.
True.
Yeah, just silo cost roughly I can say it is around 1 crore, but cost of paddy is around 7.5 to 8 crore.
How did you arrive to this cost?
It is,
Production, the
it is all the
complete process.
rate, yeah, rate that I mean in quintals you will calculate, right? Mr. Likhit can give you a good good brief on that. What will be the cost of paddy today? Paddy cost is very expensive.
How do you calculate the cost of paddy? I mean, I didn't get this point. Like how?
So what he means to say, his calculations are roughly right, because let us say 3000 tons silo is available,
Okay.
and about 30,000 quintals of paddy is getting in.
Okay.
Roughly you can consider 2,500 rupees as the cost of paddy per quintal. So that somewhere translates to 7.5 crores, as he
Which
has rightly
include
pointed.
from seed to sowing to everything to
The value
production
of paddy only. 2,500 is again a very conservative figure. It could be higher also, because that 2,500 you are purchasing at high moisture, then again bringing it to the your drying systems, and then reducing the moisture to, let us say, ideally 13 or 14%, and then storing it into the silo. So much more
Then
expensive.
This cost becomes very negligible, I believe, in order to in comparison with the kind of
the cost of I mean setting up silo is not much of a worth if you compare with the cost of the raw material. And Mr. Likhit rightly pointed out about this discoloration, right? It happens mainly because of all these grains like paddy. It is actually a biological component. So like just how humans, it also takes oxygen and releases carbon dioxide. The reaction is called respiration reaction.
Yes.
So result of this respiration reaction, you will emit heat, you will emit moisture, and also carbon dioxide, right? So constant moisture migration is happening inside the silo, and with countries like India and other South Asia, the outside ambient temperature and humidity is always fluctuating. It is not constant. So your paddy will respond to these outside temperatures. So even if we save 0.5 or 0.25 or 1% of the the fungal growth that is happening, the infestations that is happening, and also the discoloration.
correct.
It changes his balance sheets altogether.
So Abhinay,
So automation plays a very important role, because if you automate it, right, your whole plant, it can be integrated, and he can also have a remote control over what is happening to his grain inside the silo.
live monitoring. He can
Live monitoring, real time monitoring he can have.
Wonderful. So in extension to this, you're meeting a lot of rice millers.
Yeah.
Right? You're in the industry, and in relation with all the solutions you give to them,
Yeah.
I'm sure still they would have certain inhibitions, right? They should not go for this.
Yeah.
I want to understand top 3 inhibitions, right, which a rice miller or any new player who want to enter into modern storage, that is in top of their mind. Why did they want to go for this?
Oh, first misconception is like most of the millers, they feel the silos are only for large multinational companies.
Okay.
Yeah, but the case is not like that, because even small or medium-sized rice millers can afford silos at this point of time, and mostly people think it is only no storage. Like good silo system means like how much capacity you can store. That is the misconception generally. But in reality, actual question should be whether that storage capacity, whatever you are holding inside the silo, can it be preserved in a good quality over a long period of time. That is actually a question. It should come from the customer. Most of the customers, the silo is a new concept in India. So they just feel it is just a steel container where we'll fill the paddy.
Okay.
So this is one point, and second thing is from outside it looks all silos are similar,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it is not the case. Yeah, because you have different steel standards, like European standard is there. We follow Japanese standard in FAMSUN. US standards are there in Indian
Explain this
standards.
part. I mean, how does it matter for
So,
a silo?
See all.
Longevity of
Yeah,
silo?
see all silos, it has to follow some standard. One is design standard,
Right.
and the steel standard which you procure. Standard means what is the tensile strength, what is the yield strength,
Okay.
what is the percentage of elongation this sheets can withstand,
Okay.
right? So people, they don't see all these standards. And second thing, these silos are built at least for 40-50 years. That is the idea of investment. So the return on investments you will get much faster. But in order to do this, there are few parameters like corrosion, friction, for paddy. So people, they don't see what is the coating, what is a modern coating on the sheets we provide. And third misconception is like some people in the industry, they believe having silos will deteriorate the quality of the grain.
Grain, is it? Okay.
It is not because of the silo, it is because of the improper storage practice of storage systems. Because as Mr. Likhit said, right, the aeration system, the blowers we give, you just cannot switch on the blowers as if you wish.
Right.
There is a scientific connection is there.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to see the outside temperature. It should be below than the grain inside temperature.
Which is easy to understand, I'm sure it's not that
Yeah,
tough
we
science.
provide all the systems for this, but general misconception is like people who have silos in the past, they don't know how to operate these silos. Operation is very critical.
Okay.
So if you just switch on the blowers when your relative humidity is higher, that means you are sending moisture inside the silo. And if temperature is high, again, a lot of temperature variations will happen, which eventually is not going to benefit the longevity of this grain storage preservation.
Proper education is needed for
Proper
this.
education is needed. So all these are
You talked
misconceptions.
about, Abhinay, you talked about steel quality. I want to dig a little deeper into it
Yeah.
because people must understand. So, what kind of different steels currently the industry uses in silo, and what you use, what you recommend, how one should choose the steel quality?
Yeah, see, it's a very good question. Now, currently in India, I think 24 to 25 silo companies are operating.
Okay.
So most of these silo companies, they operate, this GI, galvanized steel.
Okay.
So we say it galvanized steel, which is nothing but base metal is mild steel coated with zinc.
Zinc.
99.9% it is zinc. And you have zinc volume sheets, which is a combination of zinc and aluminum coated sheets. And there is galfan, zinc, aluminum, and some percentage of silica. And now we have the latest, best post galvanizing sheets in the market, which is called zinc, magnesium, and aluminum. It is a 3-metal alloyed coated sheet.
Okay.
If you get it from Europe, it is Magnalis. If you get it from Korea, it becomes Posmac from a supplier called POSCO, and we give it from China. And our supplier gives in the name called Zosmac. It is actually a brand name. And
This is the alloy of these three combination only.
yeah, 3 combination, but percentage of zinc, aluminum, and magnesium will differ.
Is it?
Yeah, basically India is a tropical country. Most of the South Asian countries are tropical. Here humidity is always higher. When humidity is always higher, the oxygen will react with zinc very easily. So your sheets will get oxidized. So oxidation will result in formation of rust. So if you take GI silos, maybe 15 years or maximum up to 20 years, after that you will start seeing white rust, red rust, even perforations also on the sheets. Whereas now we have this better post galvanizing alternatives like zinc, aluminum, and magnesium. This oxidation will not happen very easily because this chemical reaction will not allow the zinc oxide on those sheets because aluminum and magnesium is added. And magnesium, it has a special self-healing property.
Is it?
So it heals itself.
What do you mean by heals itself? I mean the rust is
Yeah,
rusting
see,
happens, but rusting does not affect.
yeah, see, because all these sheets, whatever you procure, right? So these sheets should be cut and it should be corrugated, for silos. So once you cut the sheets, the edges of those sheets are exposed to the humidity much faster, right? So rusting will happen on those edges. And once you cut, right, coating will also be not uniform once you cut those sheets. So with this Magnelis component, even if there is any chance of white rust happening, it has the property to self-heal itself.
What
Because
do you call this steel otherwise in Indian market when you're selling?
it is called Magnelis if you procure from Europe. If you procure from Korea, POSCO, there is a company called POSCO, it becomes POSMAC. And from FAMSUN, we are giving it from China and it is called Zosmac.
Zosback.
Yeah, we are getting steels from Shogun.
So if I ask you for the benefit of the audience, why they should go for Zosmac steel from FAMSUN? 2 points. What do you think?
See, one is we are the company who have the least zinc percentage. It is only 91 percentage. Whereas if you take Magnelis, because we have already used Magnelis in the past, so it is 93.5 percentage. And aluminium we are giving 6 percentage. Aluminium is also more compared to with zinc less and with aluminium more. Two things will happen. One, little more time you will have for the sheets to get rusted.
Right.
And second thing, it also has a better reflectivity property, heat reflectivity property. Color will be little whiter than little grayish than the other.
Longevity will be how much?
See, our silos are built. See, generally we give warranty for customers. So we get steel at 40 years of lifespan. Yeah. Generally they calculate. I mean the conditions C1 class to C4 class, right? And we in India we fall under C1 to C4. So considering this class, a minimum of 30 years our steel can withstand.
Right. So, Likhit, I'm sure when Abhinay and you started conversing with each other, when did you actually decide it? Maybe little before this, you might have already decided in your mind that you want to shift to silos. What were the points which actually help you decide to go for steel silo? And also, please club your answer with what those points which kind of pushed you, rather helped you to decide to go with Abhinay.
Initially, I was quite skeptical in terms of choosing a Chinese company because FAMSUN, it was the first time I was hearing about the company. So I had to do some due diligence and background checks and all of that.
What due diligence did you do? I really want to understand.
So I just started talking to industry veterans. And then I started asking about there is a company called FAMSUN, and because silo is a very, though it is very convenient, it is also very risky. Yes. We don't want to get ourselves into a position where we are getting something at a lower cost, but though he did not give me any cost benefits. So we don't want to get into lower cost products and then face huge risks, because recently also we have come across two to three incidents of silo accidents happening within 10 to 15 years of usage. So loss of material is okay, it's just financial loss, but loss of life is a lifetime regret. So we do not want any. So my first priority was safety. In terms of all of that. So then when I spoke to industry veterans, they told me that FAMSUN is a very old company, and then many European projects also consider FAMSUN where the MHE is required and all of that. So if they are doing something like this, it is not a problem. And one more thing which was, though structural engineering does not specify that heavier is better, but one more thing which kind of convinced us a mental satisfaction was that out of all the options that I had, FAMSUN silos were the heaviest. So well built, and so many of the manufacturers were providing 600 GSM the GI on the wall sheets of the silo, and on the top Magnelis standard. Magnelis is an ArcelorMittal product.
Yes.
So wherein in FAMSUN we were getting an advantage of having the whole thing made in that same material, Magnelis equivalent. So we thought it's a good product to look at. It came with all the temperature monitoring systems and blowers and your sweep augers. Everything was packaged well provided, and they had been in this market for a long time also. A few calls made to the customers and inquired about how their experience was and all of that. Because white rusting is a very big problem, so that's the root cause for red rusting. So it starts with white and then goes to red. So these are the few factors which made me decide.
And when did you decide to shift for it? What I want to understand from you is like, see, people somewhere still believe that, and there's nothing wrong in traditional storages also, but that shift which happens, they have to some way convince themselves, now this is the time I need to shift. So I want to understand from you, when did you as a company, MS Agro, decided to shift to modern storages?
See, for me it was even more difficult because we already had a warehouse in place. Ours is an old industry, so the space is a limitation. Right. So we had to go through the decision of dismantling that warehouse which we had recently constructed about a couple of years ago, and then put up a silo. In fact, when we made the decision, we wanted to retain a portion, about 25% of the existing warehouse. But now that we started doing the foundations, we have already laid the continuity columns for the third silo as well, which means to say the entire warehouse is going to be dismantled the moment that I'm going to take a decision for a third silo. It's mainly that we started seeing the patterns for shortage of manpower. One thing is that ours being a seasonal industry, there are two crops, which means to say even if we rationally divide the year into two parts, let us say 6 and 6 months each, and there are two, usually it's not like that. So the April season lasts until November, usually it is about 6 to 7 months longer, and the November season lasts until March, which is 4 to 5 months. So one season is shorter than the. So regardless of how the split is, the procurement has to happen within 60 days. So for 6 months, for 180 days, the 60 days is a procurement window. Now, as the number of industries are increasing and farmers are also becoming wealthier, farmers are also able to hold the stocks, stockists are there, the volume of the industry is increasing, more consumption is there. Like I told you, what happens when 4 TPH or a 5 TPH mill becomes the new Binny, which means to say larger industries are coming in. Larger industries coming in is larger consumption happening. So that window of procurement, which was usually for 60 days, started becoming less than 30 days. So that window started becoming smaller, and the moisture percentages which started arriving to us started becoming higher. What was given at 16% comfortably now was being spoken at 25 to 30%. So the infrastructure, the situation demanded that kind of infrastructure.
Excellent.
So it demanded that kind of infrastructure is the reason why we started. See, that the point when we took the decision, it was not that critical. We anticipated that it is going to become a little worse going forward because the industries are huge and this kind of problem. So they had already gone through something like this, so we probably might.
This was demand of the time.
Yeah, demand of the time and situations, yes. So a couple of seasons rains were higher, no sufficient sunlight. The farmers were not able to dry the paddy even if they wanted to. So they gave up and they said, this is what is available, you may pick it up or leave it.
Wonderfully put, wonderfully put.
So that is how it was.
So storage matters then in this stage. Great. So I also want to understand, because now it is a traditional business and you have seen your family working into it, now you're also working. How do you take care of the interest of the people from your buying? If it is a farmer, then farmer. If it is Arthya, then Arthya or middleman. How, as a company, you take care of interest of those people,
Of the farmers?
of the farmers, definitely.
See, the thing is, we are in an open market situation.
Yeah.
So all of us are bound by the forces of market.
Yeah.
And there is not much we can do to, because I'm not an industry where the margins are huge. We are a commodity and high volume, low margin business is the nature of the business. The operating leverage is higher. So
Yes.
that is how it is. So there is not much we do. All we can do is make payments on time,
On time.
and the continuous procurement can happen and give the right price to the farmer.
So you follow the MSP pattern of the state? How is it?
See, if it is much higher than the MSP usually.
Is it?
The market is usually higher than the MSP. MSP is the base.
Their demand is like that only, or how?
See, the market generally, the trends are not set by a certain person or a certain entity. It's the forces of the market. It is not just the Raichur millers who are purchasing from the farmers around. It's people all the way from the north sometimes also come and purchase. Hyderabad region, Telangana, Andhra, many millers around are purchasing from the farmers. So it's the market forces that are, farmers are always having the option, and also they can always fall back to the government in case the prices are lower than MSP. The government is always there for the rescue of the farmers.
Nicely put, Likhit. Nicely put.
And also there are APMC markets, agriculture produce markets, where the farmers are able to bring in their produce, auction them, and get better prices as well. That is, these are all government run institutions.
True. And you also procure through APMC?
Yeah, it's possible. We are the participants, so we can look at the lots, we can bid our prices. The highest bidder always gets the lot. And even there, the farmer has a choice whether to accept or not. So it is always the farmer
Wherever
is
you get a
beneficial.
better
So all the policies are favorable to the farmer. Farmer is in a good position, no problem at all.
Which is good, I believe. Even the policies are helping out farmers.
Yes.
Farmers are having better option.
Correct.
I mean, of course, your margins could shrink a bit, but end of the day, the whole value chain is profitable. So.
Correct. See, the input raw material pricing always dictates the finished goods prices usually. So because ours is a very competitive and commodity industry, so we do not have much say in the kind of margins that we could have.
Okay.
It is standard across the industry.
Okay, great. Abhinay, I want to understand. So now you have sold the product. You know, people or the companies like MS Agro, Likhit, they have already procured it. What are your thoughts on after-sales service? How do you cater to what is the right approach of after-sales service of FAMSUN?
See, Naveen, after sales support is very critical because the real relationship happens only after commissioning. Anybody can sell a silo. But as Mr. Likhit rightly pointed out, operation efficiency is very important. And in case if you have any breakdowns or your components are not working properly, you should have a proper system and proper spare parts availability to support these customers. Because once, even 1 or 2 days, if you are not able to meet, I mean, there is a lot of losses for the customers running the complete plant, especially during season time. Season time means you will have 5-6 lorries waiting to load inside the silo. So you have to make sure that you have a proper sales support, I mean after sales support team, preventive maintenance team, so that you give a lot of benefits for the customers. See, all these silos are large capacity silos, right? And these silos are built for 30-40 years. So in between this time, a lot of things can happen. He can even expand his facility He can also change the capacities of his metal handling systems, and in fact he can also replace the silos also. So you have to get associated with him throughout the life cycle. Only then the process becomes streamlined, and the project becomes a success.
And the customer also trust you.
Yeah, see, first you sell, and then you give service. The customer starts trusting you, and this trust will create a brand, and this brand will help you to have a long term relationship with the customers.
Let me be a little more specific to you.
Yeah.
So once the product is sold, the silo is sold, what are the two after sale challenges? Customer demands. I mean, I'm sure you provide. What are the biggest challenges they face?
The biggest challenge right now, right now is, I mean, two major challenges are there. One is in the industry currently, most of the silo companies, they operate through dealers, right? So for a silo to work efficiently, I mean, whatever may be the designs, whatever may be the structural integrity of those sheets that you provide, the critical is the inspection, I mean the installation. Installation plays a very important role. In FAMSUN, we are the only company who provide company's own employee for the complete installation phase.
There is no third party involved.
There is no third party involved. So even if you have these bolts, right, it should be tightened in a specific torque value. Even if it is tightened more, tightened less, if the sealants are not made properly on these bolts, just for an example, it will change how the grain inside the silo react to the atmospheric. Yeah, so installation is a very, very critical component, and it is a challenge for most of the other silo companies to have a proper supervision from the company side, which FAMSUN does. And second thing, we also have a good operational team. Like once you have silo is ready, I mean for storing, and there should be SOPs like how you should maintain this grain inside the silo, how you should manage the grain inside the silo, on what parameters you should switch on the blowers, how to locate these hotspots inside the silo, what is the temperature monitoring system exactly says you. So this operational support, which is very required, unless you give proper operational support.
How do you give this support? I mean,
we
you
have
go and teach them.
No, we have a team. We have a team. Once this installation phase is completed, so our engineer will do all the trials for 3-4 batches of storage, and he will also educate the operators and also the customers how to see the temperature monitoring system, how to evaluate the hotspots at different levels of the silo, and predominantly how to use this airflow, how to use this aeration system, which is very critical for long-term storage durations of this grain. So these are the major challenges the customers has in the industry right now, and luckily in FAMSUN we already have a team, so we can give our support.
How quickly is the support of FAMSUN? I want to understand. After saying, I mean, if today the complaint has been raised.
See, if we have the complete automation, like remote, that instantly we can monitor it.
24 hours?
24 hours we can monitor it, but that is little expensive, complete automation. So generally it is all normal system. Even in that cases, we can also connect instantly using this team viewer, some kinds of app. So we can get an access of the system. We can monitor the temperature, how it is moving around the silo. We can educate the operators and the customers, and if there is any breakdown has happened in silo, we'll make sure that within 24 hours our engineer will visit and do the corrective action.
Great. So we are already at the end of our conversation. I believe I've only one last question, a couple of questions to you, Likhit. Before that, I want to ask another thing, an interesting point from you, Abhinay.
Yeah.
I think there is this smart silo concept which FAMSUN uses globally.
Yeah.
What is that concept? How that concept or software or technology could help the Indian consumer, or is it in the Indian market already?
It is not in the Indian market yet, because now, as I told you last time, right, silos are not just steel structures. It becomes very good when it is acting smartly. So smartly means it is more like monitoring your data's real time. Right now, industry is actually, it will shift. It is a cultural shift, I can say, because now mostly it is all experience based management, right? So it has not shifted yet to data driven management. Smart silos are exactly the data driven systems. So all we have PLCs, we have SCADAs, we have all interlock systems, we have all parameters to monitor those data's real time. It helps customers, take decisions based on actual data on real time, not because of only experience. So these are all smart silos concept. It's a very big
Give
subject.
better suggestions to the customers
Yeah,
on the basis of
it's a
software.
very big suggestion, and it is related to this industry 4.0 standard,
Is it?
which I was talking. Very soon, in just
Globally, it's been already used.
globally, people are already using. Even in FAMSUN, we have these systems.
Wonderful.
Very sure. I'm sure maybe within maybe 1 or 2 years, people in India will also start using, because automation as it is now, it is like underutilized, or it is underrated. You can put it in that way.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Right, so Likhit, what I want to extract from you is when you started talking with Abhinay, I'm sure you were also talking with other players in the industry. And when you were deciding, what were those 3 top things which impressed you, maybe of Abhinay, maybe of FAMSUN, that helped you decided to go with FAMSUN?
Engineering support was one of the most important factors. On site, they visited, they brought in teams from China, we were all together, and then we were trying to fit in. See, it was not a very certain decision to go with FAMSUN, because Abhinay has worked really hard to crack this order. He came through a reference to us, and the sizes which were suitable for our site were not available with FAMSUN. Even then, the team worked really hard to ensure that the layout is accommodating what FAMSUN already has. That kind of support always gives some really good confidence to the customer to go ahead and make the decision. Because as a first time silo user, I will be having a lot of questions in my mind. So answering those questions is very important. Quality of material, as I mentioned earlier, and the corrugation length, pitches, the width of corrugation, all those parameters we were definitely looking at. The weight of the silo was also, and the thickness chart all the way from the bottom to the top of it, and the number of aeration fans, and many parameters at that time. What was important to make a silo decision, we looked into all of it. And in fact, Abhinay is mentioning automation. See, all the mishappenings of a silo is because of improper the aeration or handling of the situation. There are too many parameters. It is all at the end of the day operator dependent.
Right.
So if the operator is smart and he has in his mind a checklist of things to do, if it is raining, what to be done. If it is if it is too hot but the grain is lower than the ambient temperature, the grain temperature, should I switch on the fan or not? So these are many things like this, scenarios like this which are there. Automation always brings that harmony there, because all of these decisions based on the, let's say we have a relative humidity monitor or a weather station in place, monitoring inside and outside of the silo, basis to which a PLC or a system is, a cloud is able to assess all the situations and then deciding, should I switch on the axial fans, should I switch on the blowers only, or should I do both together, or what is it right now. So there are many parameters. So when I was having all these discussions is when he again suggested that for the kind of, because see, the cost of silo is X, the cost of material inside it is more than 5X or much more than that. So one loss like that, mine is not a pharmaceutical margin standard industry. One blow like that will discourage me and pull me back by many years. So no industrialist would want that to happen. So that's when he suggested a grain chiller also as one of the solutions. So we have taken his advice and we have done our own research, and we have invested in fact in a grain chiller which eliminates all of these human intervention and error.
Great, great.
So we have done that as well. So all this support was very important for us.
I must compliment Likhit. I mean, your understanding, technical understanding, and scientific understanding go far beyond our age. I believe in the span of around 5-6 years, you have an awareness of somebody who is in the industry for the last 20-25 years. Wonderful. I always count the traditional knowledge, which I'm an advocate of this. The traditional knowledge which comes from the family or the previous business owners, and I can see that rightly been passed to you. In lieu of this, I want to understand the final question to you. What suggestions you would like to give to somebody who is looking into getting into storage, new storage? Also, if you can just cover the area if they are getting into the industry, what suggestions would you like to make? Maybe one or two topmost suggestions which comes to your mind.
Suggestion for storage is definitely yes, because I have personally invested in it, and it is a matter of convenience and also an ROI in place. So any asset giving you an ROI is a good asset to invest. So the ROI for silo falls well within the limit of the industry standard, so no problem. So they should go ahead with this. It's a good solution. In today's time, it is a necessity as well. It's a necessity and convenience factor. With respect to industry, as I have already told that we are about 5 to 7 decades into this industry. We have seen for 3 generations how the industry has evolved. I usually look at things in a very strategic way. So any industry, any business that I have been taught and learned to assess is through easily in a strategic way is through the Porter's 5 forces analysis.
Wonderful.
So the Porter's 5 forces analysis, the 5 forces are the bargaining power of the supplier on the business, bargaining power of the customer on the business, threat of new entrants, existing competition, and also the substitutes that are there. So if we will start quickly allocating points to the same. So are there any substitutes to the grain? Definitely not, because it is generationally people are used to eating rice. So I will give a +1 to that. Is there huge competition in the industry? Yes, very, very huge. There are no moats around the industry. So I would give a -1 there. So the total score is now 0. So now is there any barriers to entry? Definitely not, because today all you need is capital to be able to set up a rice milling industry. So there is no rocket science into this industry. Anybody who has capital can set up. There again is a -1. So the total score is -1. Because you are in a competitive landscape, there is less of raw material and more of people buying the raw material, fighting over each other to buy the raw material. So the bargaining power of the supplier on the industry is always higher. So their terms and conditions usually win than yours. So -1 again, keeping the total score at -2. Again, coming back to the same point of being in a competitive industry, it's a buyer's market. The buyers dictate, and there are too many people going and approaching a single buyer. So it's a buyer's market. So the bargaining power of the buyer also on the business is again very huge, and ours is a fully credit oriented industry. There is no cash and carry. We supply first and then we collect the payments all the way from 15 days all the way goes to 60 days or more also sometimes. So again that is all because the bargaining power of the customer is higher on us. So again -1 over there. So I would place the total score is -3. It is for the viewers to decide whether to get into an industry like this or not. because the next question would be, why are you in this industry? If it is -3, then why are you in this industry? It's a legacy, and this is the only business. Having a business is itself is a blessing. I consider that as a blessing from the previous generation. A functional business. So we really respect and work really hard into carrying forward what has been built, the foundations that have been laid. Other than that, on the positive note, rice is a staple. It is a habit. It's a generational habit.
Maybe in the subsidiary industry, somebody could enter. Maybe some other sort, some other form. For example, powdered rice is another one, or something else. Maybe in the
value additions are always there these days. The low glycemic index rice and all of that. But these are all not volume games. It is, I don't know to what extent the market is mature to be able to buy that and validate those products. But at the end of the day, if you want to get into the industry, it's with the basic product first, and then the rest of the brown rice and all of that is additional products around the basic product. Yes. Because this is a volume based industry, so the viewer should be able to decide basis to that, because it's a staple. No matter what happens, no matter what kind of pandemic comes, what kind of a recession comes, people will at the end of the day not stop eating food. So that is one advantage that is there. Even during the COVID time, where all the industries were forced to shut down, we were one of the industries which were running, because food supply cannot stop, right? So this is what it is.
Very, very intelligently put, Likhit. I really appreciate. Very, very smartly put. Great. So, Likhit, I mean, we're almost done with the discussion, but I always keep this small segment of rapid fire in the end. So I'll ask few questions to you, and I'll request you to limit yourself to one word answer or a short sentence like
sure.
that, right? So we'll try to keep it a little short only. Okay. So I'll just throw the first question at you. One of the biggest challenge for the rice millers today?
Competition.
Okay. Look at one storage mistake every miller should avoid in the current industry, current market.
Improper moisture storage.
Great. Moisture or temperature, which is more critical in storage?
Both.
Okay. Should every modern rice mill adopt one technology? Only one technology? Or should it go for multiple?
Context?
I mean, to automation and all those things.
Yeah, automation is the way forward.
Wonderful. Traditional warehouse storages or silo storages?
A mix of both.
Okay. Biggest hidden loss in grain handling? What do you think?
Improper storage, one resulting from the improper storage. Loss due to weevils and due to discoloration.
Okay. What is that one factor that improves rice recovery the most? One factor which can improve the rice recovery?
Proper storage.
Proper storage.
Yes.
Automation or manpower? I know the answer, but still. Automation or manpower? What is the future?
The industry has come from gross to precise, so automation is the way forward.
True. One thing customers demand more today than before, you customers, than before?
Consistency, quality and consistency, more and more now.
Okay. One word that defines the future of rice industry, or one sentence that defines the future of rice industry in India?
Fully automated.
Super. Okay, so one last casual question to you. After a long day at the mill, what helps you relax the most?
Maybe a movie or a swim.
Super, nicely put, Likhit. It was wonderful talking to you. I really enjoyed this conversation. I'm sure whatever pointers you have given, Abhinay has given, people who will listen to our podcast will definitely have good takeaways from those pointers. Thank you, Likhit. Thank you, Abhinay, for your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity.